Welcome to Mocha's Nola Bells and Bows, where the love runs deep, the fam stays strong, and the bells, they always ring for us. We the bells and we hold it down, yeah. Real ones only, we don't mess around. Mocha, all love, no cap, no clout to chase, just truth in the chat and respecting the space. It's family, Mocha got that heart of gold. From the south to the stream, we brave and bold. You ain't gotta pick sides or play a role, just show a real and you already home. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pull up to the bells and bows like a Sunday seed. Got peace in the room and the vibe on beat. No drama, no mess, just minds that meet. Introduce yourself in the chat and the mods gon' greet. Real talk, we got brothers and sisters here. Ain't no fake love, every heart sincere. We've been through storms, but the sky stay clear. Loyalty live, that's the chant you hear. Woo! No chaos in the comment section, just bells with a bond and a bold connection. Safe space, strong face, deep reflection. Mocha, don't fold, that's pure protection. If you ever felt unheard, misunderstood, pull up in the chat, we treat you good. Ain't gotta be loud, just gotta be true. Mocha got the light and we shine with you. Not a panel of pain, it's a platform of pride. Everybody got space and we don't divide. You loyal, you love, that's how we ride. Got a bell and a bow in the name, but a tribe world. From the mods to the lurkers and folks on rewatch. Every tap, every like, we feel it alive. Mocha ain't just a name, it's a vibe you caught. Nola bell, Nola boast, that's a family, not a thought. Bring it loud, we the bells and we hold it down. Yeah, we do. Real ones only, we don't mess around. Real talk, all love, no cap, no clout to chase. Just truth in the chat and respecting the space. It's family, Mocha got that heart of gold. From the south to the stream, we brave and bold. You ain't gotta pick sides or play a role. To show a real and you already home. Mocha said that to every bell in the space. Whether you typing, watching, or just vibing, you are this family. And over here, we don't fold, we ring. Ooh, welcome to Mocha.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday, guys. I hope all is well. I hope everyone has had an awesome day. We're back. As always, we are here doing exactly what we came to do, and that's to have a conversation. That's to have a conversation. And tonight's conversation is no different than any other night. Y'all saw the title and y'all saw the thumbnail. Come on, Fall Guy. Protect us. But then we're going to let the judge decide. Jarvis Butts' plea deal, the story they're trying to close. But will the judge accept it? Will the judge accept it? Happy Wednesday, guys. Once again, welcome to each and every one of you. We're back here. Still the Naziyah Harris case. That they keep flipping the script. The switch just keep flipping on and off, on and off, on and off. Which leads us to more and more questions that still remains unanswered, but we're here to answer them, or at least find answers to them. But nonetheless, neither here nor there, we're going to talk about it. Because something about this plea deal just ain't right. It ain't sitting right with me, and I know it ain't sitting right with y'all. I tried to leave it alone, y'all. I did. I really did. But the more I look at it, the more I listen to what's being said, and more so what's not being said, starts making us all look at this shit totally different. Now they want us to believe that this is justice. They want us to believe that this is the process. They want us to believe this is how it's supposed to go. But now, this is not how it's supposed to go at all. And I ask myself, since when the system moved like this? Since when everything just lines up all neat and pretty like this? Because let me ask y'all something. When has a case like this, with this many moving parts, this many names involved, ever just get tied up in a bow and sent on its way like it's a neatly wrapped Christmas present? When? Because in the world that I live in, it don't work like that. So I ask myself, is this really about justice? Or is this about control? Is this about making sure certain people don't have to talk? Or is it making sure certain details don't ever hit the courtroom? Because we have to be real. Plea deals don't just close cases. Plea deals, they shut people up too, y'all. They shut people up too. And that right there, that's the part that I'm not about to ignore. Because if this deal goes through, what we not finna hear, what gets buried with it, what names don't get called, those are the things that we have to look at if that deal goes through. It's a lot of things that we won't hear, a lot of things that they're going to sweep under the rug, and a lot of names won't get mentioned. But if that judge looks at this and say, oh, hell no, then what exactly were they trying to keep from coming out? If that judge says no, we have to be grateful, because then whatever it is that they were trying to sweep under the rug, it comes out. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're not just looking at the plea deal. We're going to look at what it might be trying to hide. That's what we're going to look at. Family, I need y'all to talk to me in this moment. I need y'all in this one, because this right here, this ain't no sit back and be quiet type of situation. Do y'all really believe this plea deal is about justice? Or are y'all seeing what I'm seeing and feeling like something being handled a little too quietly? Because I'm telling y'all right now, this shit don't feel regular. Feels like something is trying to slide on through. And let me ask you again, what are y'all feelings about the judge? Do you think that judge finna go for this? Or do you think he might look at this and be like, nah, we ain't doing this today? And I pray to God he's that type of judge that says, oh no, we ain't doing this shit today. I need y'all to drop it in the chat right now. Don't wait. Speak on it. Because one thing we're not about to do is sit here and act like This don't raise red flags. Like this don't have questions all over it. We getting into all of that tonight. So go ahead, tap in, speak up, and don't hold shit back. Because tonight we're in here. And we're just going to keep asking these questions over and over and over again, because there has to be an answer somewhere. I see y'all. I see y'all in the chat. What's good? What's good? What's good on this beautiful Wednesday, guys? Come on in here and get comfortable, because yeah, we got something to talk about. I see y'all sliding through here. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button for me. If you're new over here, go on and subscribe, and welcome, 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 because over here we speak on it. And if you've been rocking with me, you already know how we do. And if you want to support the channel just a little deeper, go ahead on and hit that join button. Become a part of the family. Over here, we thrive each and every day to build something solid over here. And I love when you all engage and talk back to me. I love seeing you drop your thoughts in the chat. Because every voice matters over here. All opinions matter. Over here, there are no big I's, no little U's. We're family over here. And when you drop those thoughts, I love it. Because we don't do silent watching over here. So I encourage you all to get settled, get your drinks, do what you do. But stay right here with me tonight. Stay right here with me tonight. Because we're going to talk about it. And before we get too deep into this, let me go ahead on and say this real quick. This live stream is definitely for educational purposes. Commentary and public discussion under fair use. That's the Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107. Everything I'm speaking on is based on publicly available information, reported details, and my personal thoughts and opinions. Your personal thoughts and opinions. This is me doing what I do. Looking at what's being put out there, asking questions, and bringing awareness to what just don't sit right. And like I've always said, don't ever just take my word for nothing. Do your own research. Pay attention and come to your own conclusions. Now, with that being said, we're going to talk. We're going to talk. My girl Keisha, I see you, boo. Keisha says we all need to write that judge. Tell him to reject that plea if he can't produce her body. As we should. As we should. But Keisha, let's just pray to God. Even with the letters going to the judge, let's just pray to God that that judge is a judge with a heart. Let's pray on that. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the chat. I see you all. I see you all. One thing I know in all of this, everything that's being handed to us seems like a horrible distraction. And we don't do distractions. Spicy said it's obvious. The prosecution is hiding a lot that they don't want to expose. Spicy, I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right. See that plea deal? Because before we go anywhere else, before we start connecting dots, we need to understand exactly what's being put out on the table. What is this plea deal really saying? What is this plea deal really saying? And not only what is it saying, but most importantly, what the hell is it leaving out? Because you see, that's where everything starts. Not just what we know, not what people think it means, but what it actually is. So let's look at this plea deal, y'all. Let's look at this plea deal. We finna walk this thing out step by step so we can really see what's going on. Because on the surface, it might look one way. It might sound good. It might even feel like, okay, this shit makes sense. But when you start breaking it down, that's when it start hitting different. That's when stuff really don't line up the same. So let's start right here. Let's deal with what they putting in front of us. What they want us to go with. Not what we feel, not what we think, but what's actually being presented. What's being handed, like we're supposed to just take this shit and move on. Because once we start understanding what they think they're putting down, that's the only way we can move forward. All right? So boom. From what's being presented to us, we got a plea deal. We got a plea deal. And the way that plea deal is being framed like this is the next step. Like, all right, y'all, we done made some progress. Or like, this is how we're moving forward. But if that's all the hell you got, I'm sitting like, huh? Move forward where? How the hell can you move forward and you've given the world nothing? Because when you really look at it, they're making it seem simple. Making it seem like, all right, we done got enough, so it's a wrap. This case has too many damn layers. Too many people involved. Too much time behind it. You just don't tie shit up that. You just can't tie shit like this up neatly and wrap it up like a gift and say, move the hell on. So we can't just look at what they're showing us, which is hardly nothing. You have to look at how it's being shown. What they choose to highlight and what they conveniently leave out. That matters. So all they handed to us was a deal, giving him an option and giving them a way to move along. But we have to ask ourselves, what does this do? What does this actually do with this case? Because on the surface, some people may look at it as being progress. But is this progress, y'all, or is it pressure? And more importantly, we have to ask ourselves, what happens if this deal actually goes through? Because at the end of the day, this shit is all about Naziah. So where is the justice? Where's the justice? If that's what they want us to believe it is. Because to Moca, this shit looks a little too damn clean. And I don't know who they think they're fooling, but baby, it ain't Moca and the Nola Bells and Boats. Because all of a sudden now we got a plea deal. After all this time, get the hell out of here, please. You mean to tell me with all the confusion, all the back and forth, all the damn people tied into this mess, now it's finna come together nice and neat like and wrapped up like a Christmas present that nobody expected? Like y'all giving somebody a damn package deal. Like we just supposed to take it and move on. Who the hell is this really for? Because it damn sure don't feel like it's for the truth. And it damn sure ain't for clarity. Tie a bow on it, push it through, keep certain shit from ever being said out loud. Because every time something start moving real quiet, that's when I know somebody's in the background benefiting. And let's be real, this ain't just about what they're showing us, it's about what they're not showing us. And that's the part that just keeps jabbing away at me. Because it's something. We got to look at what they're not putting on paper, what they're not bringing into that courtroom, and what they're hoping we don't even think to question. And that's the problem, because y'all dealing with the wrong ones over here, because we question it all. We don't just sit here and accept shit. We look at it, break it all the way down, and if it don't make sense, we're calling it out. Because what they're doing don't look honest. It don't look truthful. And we ain't buying none of that shit at face value. None of it. Spicy said it's obvious. The prosecution is hiding a lot. They don't want to expose. Absolutely, Spicy. Spicy. Some of the things that they're hiding, and it is my personal belief, some of the things that they're hiding, Spicy, it involves them. It includes them. I could be very, very wrong, but Spicy. Something tells me they want him silent. Something tells me that they're the puppet masters and they're pulling on these strings and he has to dance to their music right now. Something that he's protecting. And we can't just say it's all about Shannon. Jarvis Butts could not stand Shannon. He's right about now, he despises her even more. So by him doing what he's doing, we cannot believe that he's protecting Shannon. It ain't Shannon, y'all. Mm-mm. It's the very same people that want to make the world believe that they've gotten a conviction. It's the very same people that's throwing out all of these legal terms saying they got their man. It's the same people that want us to believe that he's going to truthfully tell them where Naziah is. Because that don't make sense to me. How do you give him a plea deal? And the only requirement you have is for him to tell you where she is. No what's, when, how's, or why's involved. You're not asking him to tell us what he done. You're not asking him to tell how it was done. You're not asking him to tell where it was done. You're not asking none of this. All you want is something simple and on paper. And you expect us to believe that. Two years. And y'all saying Rouge River. Y'all expect us to buy that? Y'all expect us to buy that? Travis says, I pray Annette, Shannon, Marquita, and Dre don't get away with this. Travis, is so many. And they're the tip, they're the tip of the iceberg. My girl Kim says, let's call Kim Worthless ass to the front of the class because January 9th ain't matching. Thank you, Kim. And you know, Kim, I really wish so many more people would absorb that. Because January 9th makes no sense. January 9th makes no sense. When you look at the dates, you look at the course of what they put out there, the way they put it out there, and when they put it out there. None of this adds up. And the most disheartening part about that January 9th date, Kim, is the fact that they've included so many other people in on this. So I'm wondering, and I have to ask myself, how corrupted is Detroit really? Because you got to be a low down, heartless and worthless person to go along with some bullshit that really don't exist. How could she have gone missing on January 9th and nobody holds the school accountable for marking her present on January 10th? How can she go missing on January 9th? And when it's time to bring forth valuable pieces of information that's going to help this case and possibly find this baby, all Kim Worthless and her team could do is pull up old footage, maybe 5-6 years ago, from a school bus that looks like a little girl that could have been Naziah 5 years ago. The school bus footage don't match. That person walking on that ring cam in front of that home don't match, because one thing I know for certain, the weather that day on January 9th damn sure don't match the weather of that little girl walking in front of that home on that ring cam footage. So the lies that these people tell, is Jarvis Butts being smart right now? He is. And that's just my opinion. That plea deal has probably fired everybody up because he accepted the deal. And it is Mocha's opinion. He accepted the deal. And when they said he had to truthfully make a statement about where she is, Jarvis Butts knows that if he makes that statement, whether it be truth or not true, he knows that if they can't produce what he promised when he made that plea deal, he knows that it's going to go to court. One of y'all thought about that? He knows that it's going to go to court because that meant he didn't give them what they wanted. So it has to go to court. It has to go to trial. So there's no such thing as we're going to sentence him on this day. Nah, ain't no fucking sentencing if the plea deal ain't what if the agreement to the plea deal ain't what it was supposed to be. His hands were forced with that plea deal. So he gave them what they wanted. But what they failed to realize, he has been playing chess the whole time. It may not look that way to some, But that's the way it's looking. Welcome everyone to the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're new here, baby, welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you hit the like button for your girl. Absolutely. Kim said, since when a plea deal has no expiration. Kim, that's the crookedness. That's Detroit. Detroit is coming up with some new shit, creating new laws, doing a whole lot of things that I've never, ever seen before in my life in a judicial system. And it makes you wonder. So, Chad, I'm coming to you all right now. If this plea deal feels off to you in any type of way, drop some red flags for me in the chat, because a plea deal should not have an expiration date. The wording of that plea deal sounds very, very, very far-fetched. You feel like something is being covered up. Y'all already know how we rock up in here. We need some interaction. We need some engagement. If y'all feel that the plea deal is over, I need red flags. I see the red flags. I see the red flags. Now tell me something else, chat. If y'all feel like something is being covered up, let me see y'all eyes, baby. Because we all cannot be not seeing what they're actually handing to us. Because I'm not buying none of this. Not at face value. Not at face value. I refuse. Because I don't know who they think we are. Everybody's not going to sit here and accept what they're handing to us. We just cannot. Simone said, I don't think that judge is going to go for this. I pray to God not. My girl Dorothy Ann says, I feel this is all fake. There is no way that the justice system is letting this go on like this. Let's talk about it, Dr. Ann. Baby, listen. We're in Detroit, Dorothy Ann. And it appears in Detroit, a little bit of this and a whole lot of that is going on. And not only is a little bit of this and a little bit of that is going on, Dorothy Ann, but it seems like all this shit is acceptable and is not being challenged by Detroit. Because Dorothy Ann, what I want to know is, how did we get here? Right? How did we get here? How did they, first of all, how did they allow Annette to go report this baby as a runaway to the school, not to the police station? How did they allow her to go and report this baby as a runaway to the school and leave that shit there like it was okay? Why was that not questionable? Have anybody, I'll wait, have anybody ever heard of such a thing? And not have you heard of such a thing, but have we heard where DPD, the prosecutor, the judge, any goddamn body, have we heard of anybody challenging the decision that Annette made to go report this baby as a runaway to the school? Because that was the first red flag in all of this shit. And there was nobody, because I know Moca didn't see it, Moca didn't hear it, Moca didn't read it. And if nobody made Annette responsible or held her accountable for reporting this child as a runaway at the school and not the police department, what else could we expect? We should have seen this shit going left in that very moment. In that very moment. Then Shannon says, the detective called them, gave them a heads up, gave them a warning, days in advance that they was coming by to pick up Naziyah's laptop. That ain't how the system works either. That's not how the system works. See, the red flags, they kept piling one on top of the other. So Dorothy, and I'm with you, it all looks fucking fake. This is a horrible ass storyline. And not only is it horrible and horrific, but listen. Not only is it horrible and horrific, but how does the city of Detroit? See, thank God I don't live there. My mouth is too big. And I'm not afraid of confrontation, especially when I know I'm right. How the hell is it acceptable by the city? How is it acceptable by the authorities? How is it acceptable by these people that's supposed to serve and protect? How is it acceptable for Annette to keep reporting child after child after child that's in her care as a runaway, and that's not a red flag? I want to know. How do you let that shit keep happening and it's not being challenged? So what's really going on? What's really going on in Detroit? And you see those things right there. If you look into this shit the way you should look into this shit and not just look for the messy part of it, if you really want answers, your discernment is on check, and something just don't sit right in your spirit with it all, I'm going to report. This little girl didn't come home. Say like Shannon, she didn't bring her ass home. So I'm going to report her as a runaway. I had other children in my care that clearly didn't want to be in my fucking house. So I'm going to report them as a runaway. But nothing is being said. They ain't looking at Annette. They're not looking at Annette as being a problem, but they're looking at these children as being a problem. Something is wrong with that picture. Because never in all my life, never in all of my life have I known children that's been disciplined. I mean, because according to Annette, she's the world's greatest mother, world's greatest grandmother. She love on them. So if you loving on them, why are they running away? I've known children to be disciplined, get their ass beat, punished, all kind of shit. And they never ran away. So what makes it different with yours? Yours are running away. And nobody's challenging that. I have a problem with that. Because at the end of the day, there's still no justice for Naziah. Do I fault Annette? Hell yes, I do. Everybody that's around her, I fault them. But who holds the largest amount of accountability with this shit with Moca is the judicial system in Detroit. Because now the judicial system also feels like they can play in our face. Because you gave Annette the right She gotten away with it so often, reporting children as runaways, till she got comfortable with it. And y'all let it happen. Y'all let it happen. So hell yeah. Naziah no longer being here, it don't just sit at Annette's front door, it sits on Detroit's door. Because they played a large part in all of this. Cynthia Harmon says, I feel like you have to produce a body before you even can take a play deal. I don't know. Cynthia, I'm going to say this. With all Jarvis had going on, all the charges against Jarvis, let's not even talk about the unaliving charge. I'm going to let that one sit on the back burner. But all the other charges that Jarvis had against him, there is no way on God's green earth, no way there should have been a plea deal. How do you make a deal with the devil? How? Jarvis was in no position to make a plea deal. None whatsoever. Dorothy Ann, thank you so much, baby, and I love you more. Jarvis was in no position to be given an opportunity to be offered a plea deal. And Mocha's opinion is when they offered him the plea deal, that's because they didn't have a solid case at all. But the plea deal, I want you all to understand. And if you don't agree with me, you know I love when you all speak your mind, because this is not all about Mocha. That plea deal that was offered, ladies and gentlemen, that plea deal was not for Jarvis. And I hope you all seen that. I hope you all recognize that. And when I say that plea deal was not for Jarvis, just look at the wording of the plea deal. Just tell us truthfully. That's a red flag. And then along with that plea deal and it's saying tell us truthfully, the plea deal remained on the table with no expiration date. Isn't that a red flag? Because since when you set a plea deal on the table to any damn body and there's no expiration? Something is stinking these waters. That's sad. Cool Girl Sister says, Mocha, I'm saying, why did Shannon get immunity without being charged with something? What was she charged with? Cool Girl Sisters, let me approach this without really wanting to approach this, because that's not the direction I was going in tonight. But since I highlighted it, I'm going to talk about it. In Mocha's opinion, right? In Mocha's opinion, I don't know how nobody else feel. I don't know how nobody else thinks. But I could tell you about Mocha. Mocha don't believe. And that's why I say you have to listen, you have to see, you have to use your own discernment based on the things that's already out here. That's factual and can be proven. In Mocha's opinion, there was no immunity. Because you have to make it make sense. If Shannon has never set her big ass in front of those people and they never charged her with shit, how the hell can she get immunity? Thank you so very much, Marty. the hell can she get immunity? And we have to make it make sense. Even when the story came out about Shannon and Jarvis sharing the same attorney from the same firm, that's bullshit. That's highly impossible. We gotta make this shit make sense, y'all. And all I'm saying is, don't complicate it more than it needs to be complicated. Because my thing's, why the hell would they give immunity to a motherfucker that sat on the stand and lied and they know she lied? Help me, y'all. They know Shannon committed perjury. So why would they give her immunity? See, that's how you got to make it make sense. Yeah. So, cool girl, sister girl, ain't no immunity there, boo. Ain't no immunity there, boo. So that's one of them you can scratch off your list. Spicy said it's definitely giving that the family is a part of Naziah going missing. None of them have come forward and said a damn thing about that Jarvis Butts plea deal. Spicy. There you go. There you go. Spicy, they argue, fuss, and fight about every goddamn thing. But when it came to that plea deal, it was crickets. And maybe it's best on their part to just shut the fuck up and not say nothing, because they've said enough. Almost too goddamn much. Because they're not Team Naziah. They're not. They're not. Straight bullshit, y'all. No new friends. I see you, boo. Natasha said, I ain't buying nothing Detroit trying to sell. They don't give a fuck about those children. Absolutely. And the sad part about it is showing for the whole world to see. My girl, Leisure Lady, I see you, boo. She said, we might be slow, but the world not slow at the same time. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kim, thank you for supporting the channel, my love. Yakia, I see you, mama. Good seeing you. Mocha, that baby is still alive and here with us. Jarvis lied and all the rest of them lied too. Let me tell you what I feel on that. Because it's a song and a dance, and they're sending them here on a search and sending them there on a search, here and there. Nothing valuable, nothing credible, nothing solid nor concrete has been proven to you, me, them, him, they, her. None of that shit has been brought to the forefront that could prove to us that Naziah is no longer here. And if all the evidence they got is their hoodie, they could take it and wipe their ass with it, because that hoodie, in Mocha's opinion, belonged to Jarvis Butts. I've seen it too many times. In videos, in pictures, while he worked, while he was out there acting an ass, while he was doing what he was doing, Jarvis Butts was wearing that hoodie. That hoodie belongs to Jarvis Butts. Am I right or wrong, chat? Naziah could have been 62 weeks pregnant. She still wouldn't have fit that hoodie. So the evidence that they claim they have, it does not mean a thing. It don't mean nothing. Because my thing is this. If you took her and you threw her in Rouge River like you said you did, so what, you threw in that bitch naked? Why did you have to unclothe her Why did you have to take the shoes off, the socks off, and all the clothes off to throw it? Make this shit make sense, please. And then the evidence that you claim you found them untouched. You found them sitting there like they were just pulled out of a dresser drawer with no weatherization on it. The sun hadn't beat it, the rain hadn't hit it, the cold ice hadn't shriveled it up. No water stains on them. So you mean to tell me in all that junk where y'all found the so-say evidence, you mean to tell me there were no rats running through there that dug through the trash and nibbled on the clothes? No possums, no raccoons, no cats, no dogs, no nothing. It was just sitting there waiting on y'all. Stop it. It's the lies. It's the what y'all want the world to believe. And we're not buying that shit. Because y'all got to do better. Spicy says, okay. So after March 12, can we expect Annette, Shannon, Marquita, Dre, Uncle Daddy, Uncle Frank, Bishop Buffalo Bill, or some damn body other than Roxy's begging ass to give a statement? Roxy don't give statements. Roxy gives shit to draw attention to her. They don't be truthful. That family don't want to talk. And it was proven that that family don't want to talk when Annette gave that press conference statement. Everything that they wanted to say, or everything that they were going to say, was said at that press conference. And what they fail to realize is some people may have not picked up what Annette put down, but over here, Mocha and the Nola Bells picked it all up. Tammy, thank you so very much for supporting the channel, my love. I pray that the rest of the trafficking gang are held accountable soon, because God is able, and yes, he is. Yes, he is. Marty says, Judge Sabri called out the lies told by Annette and Shannon on the stand. That's perjury. Is that what they get deals to tell more lies on the stand? In my opinion, I'm just saying, Marty, you absolutely right. And although Judge Sabri ain't the judge that's overseeing this case, I'm pretty sure her words hold weight. When Judge Sabri sat there and she told Shannon, she told Annette, you bitches, I don't believe none of what you said. Y'all testimonies were not credible. She did not just say that to be saying it. She meant it. She meant it because she saw it. So I pray that this judge, he piggybacks off of Judge Sabri. I pray to God that that's the way it goes down. So if we're out here and we're still speaking the way we speak it, and we see the way the courts are moving, not the courts, the way the DA is moving, do y'all think this shit is for justice, what they're doing, or is it for control? Let me know in the chat what you feel. Is it team justice or is it team control? Because the way they're moving, in Mocha's opinion, all day long, these people want control. They want control. I see y'all in the chat. I see y'all in the chat. And I'm very appreciative of the engagement. I see y'all. Venetia says, the plea deal is very vague. It should not only mention Shannon and Annette, it should include no contact with all kids, including his own. Marquita Frank King, and whoever else was involved. Venetia, let me say something. In regards to that, no contact. That was something put on paper to make it look good, baby. I see all the controls in the chat. I see them, y'all. But listen, I think that no contact was something to look good on paper. That's what I believe. And when that thumbnail I made it for a reason. Shut up and protect us. When they name Annette first as a no contact Venetian, believe me when I tell you, and we all can agree to disagree, Annette is the head honcho. Now, don't ever forget, coming out here, her very own people referred her to as the madam, the matriarch, right? We knew how she groomed Naziah, Naziah's mom, and possibly the other little runaway kids, her own children, her own nieces and nephews, and her own sister for that matter. So it was a play with words in that plea deal, if you follow it along with me. That play with words was to trip the people up that didn't really understand the logistics of it all. No contact with the net, and that only meant you're not gonna fuck with another part of our enterprise. She's part of the enterprise. And for him to contact a part of their enterprise, that means a lot of people would get exposed. And they don't want not a part of their enterprise shook. So he has to leave her alone. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? This is some raggedy shit if ever I said it. Sheena says, Spice, I doubt it because they're covering their asses because they dropped the ball. Baby dropped the ball from the very goddamn beginning. From the beginning. Cornell Jarvis don't give a shit about Shannon. And it said, I believe it's an undercover operation. Yes, ma'am, it is. It's clear as day. The writing is on the wall. And for those that don't want to see it and don't want to believe it, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Lady V, I see you, boo. I see you. Hey, Miss Antoinette, my girl says, Mocha, I believe Shannon hurt Naziah. Miss Antoinette, I agree with you right there. I didn't even have to go very far in your statement, baby. I agree with you right there. I believe Shannon hurt Naziah because she saw the messages and Jarvis' sister called her. Naziah asked for those two connecting streets and Shannon picked Jarvis up or dropped him off there. We ain't got to go that far, Miss Antoinette. One thing I love you all. That's why we can agree to disagree. I don't believe she hurt Naziah because of the text messages. I'm going to tell you why I don't believe that. I really don't believe she hurt Naziah because of the text messages. And the reason I feel she didn't hurt Naziah because of the text messages is because, in my honest and humble and most heartfelt opinion, I believe those text messages, at least 80% of the text messages, were Shannon. Shannon is an old hoe. But Shannon has the mental capacity of a 10-year-old. Because what auntie in her right mind wants to be best friends with her niece? What auntie in her right mind wants to engage in children's activities? So Shannon, now she wasn't jealous behind no text messages, because those text messages were all her. Shannon lost it when Shannon thought she was number one. She thought she was a prized possession for Jarvis Butts because she laid her nasty ass down there, or her slow ass down there, and had all those babies. And she thought that was going to keep a man who already had 20 children out there in the streets. Shannon's anger towards Naziah came about when she realized Shannon's anger toward Naziah came about when she realized the very little niece that she watched and allowed this man to do the things that he had been doing to her for years and years and years while Naziah was under Shannon's care in Clinton Township since the age of 2. Since the age of 2. Shannon had to come to a realization, and that's where it hurt her, that the very child that she fed to this man on a silver platter started giving this baby more attention than ever. So Shannon became useless because Naziah was doing each and everything that Jarvis no longer needed Shannon for. And Shannon felt that. And I believe that's what caused Shannon to lose it and do what she did. And we could speculate all day long about what happened, how it happened. But they know how it happened. And I'm even convinced that Dre knows how it happened. Because how could he sit here and say Shannon and Annette was doing A, B, and C to Naziah in that house? And then they called the bouncer, Marquita. So something was going on real bad in that house. And how could you undo that? How could you undo that? One thing I know is that we're not getting a full story. And that's why the prosecution want Jarvis to shut the hell up. Chat, if y'all feel like we're not getting the full story, let's talk about it. If y'all feel that they're doing this shit because they don't want no more names dropped, we got to talk about it. But I'm going to ask y'all, if y'all think the judge might shut this shit down, drop some hammers in the chat. Because I really pray to God the judge shut this shit down. Lady B says, Mocha, they didn't have the evidence they say they had. Bingo. The clothes were contaminated and they had no evidence to connect them to the unaliving. All facts, Lady D. All facts. I see the hammers. I see the hammers. I see the hammers. I'm with y'all. I think the judge might shut this shit down. And I pray to God he does. I pray to God he does. I love y'all flood this chat. Because we want answers. I need to see y'all. I need y'all to light this chat up because I want to know where y'all head at with this one. I need to know. Because when I say shit ain't sitting right, it ain't sitting right, baby. And we can't unsee it because it's clear as day. Y'all showing shit to us, what's on the surface. But let's talk about what this shit could be doing behind the scenes. Because plea deals don't just exist for no reason. We know that. Plea deals serves a purpose. Look at my brother Abs in here. Hey, brother. Chandra, I see you, boo. Plea deals don't just exist for no reason. They serve a purpose. They do something. And depending upon how these plea deals are set up, they can limit what comes out. They could even control what gets said, and they could keep certain things from ever being addressed in open court, y'all. Now let's just think about it. If this deal ever goes through, what conversations do y'all think will never ever happen? What details will never ever ever be brought up, and what names will never ever ever get called? See, that's the prosecutors protecting them. Hence the reason for the plea deal. Because once this deal is accepted, there are things that no longer have to be proven. Don't have to be explained and don't have to be questioned in front of people. And that changes every damn thing. So in my opinion, this shit ain't about resolving something. In my opinion, it's more or less them trying to contain some shit. Because those are two very, very, very different things. Because one of the things, one of them bring clarity and the other one keeps shit from going any further. And when you dealing with a case that's already got layers deeper than a fucking onion, already got questions and got people looking sideways, you gotta ask yourself, why did they take this route? Because decisions like this just don't randomly happen. They happen for a reason. And whatever the reason is worth questioning. Because if this plea deal controls If this plea deal controls what comes out, then we got to ask, what exactly are we being kept from hearing? My brother Ab said, Mocha, almost everything you in this chat have said about this case have been straight facts. Brother, you know over here, we ain't throwing no wooden nickels. If it don't make sense, it don't make sense. And we ain't entertaining the dumb shit. And I'm going to go ahead on and say, because this right here, you know, everybody's cool when it looks like it's progress. But ain't nobody asking what the hell is getting cut off in the process. A plea deal ain't just about ending something, y'all. That shit is all about limitations. And sometimes it limits the whole damn story. They don't want us to hear certain things. They're not obligated no more to walk us through shit. And they damn sure ain't obligated to expose no more. And that's what they're looking to do. They just want to shut certain doors for good. Closing conversations, cutting off connections, and burying shit before it ever hit the courtroom floor. It got a horrible feeling to it. Because ain't no way we just magically at a point where it's like this. Let's wrap it up. Bitch, please. That ain't how messy situations work. And this shit been messy from the very beginning. So we can't just watch what they doing, y'all, at this point. We also have to watch what the fuck they ain't doing. What they ain't saying, what they ain't pressing, what they letting slide. Because sometimes what don't happen tells you every damn thing you need to know. So yeah, this plea deal, it might be moving things forward for them. But it's still shutting a whole lot of shit down. And that's why we say the shit we say. And I'm with you, Lady B. They had nothing. They had nothing. And Jarvis ain't as dumb as he look. Leisure Lady say they have to be the sorriest bunch of professionals. Yes, absolutely. Spicy want to know how come none of Naziah's classmates have called into any social media, because Spicy and Naziah lived a contained life. Naziah, in my opinion, from what I know, from some of the shit that's been said on social media from the family, and Annette's very own testimony, Naziah had no friends. Naziah's only friend was her little cousin, Janiah. Naziah was an adult in a child's body. Naziah did not have a normal childhood. She was made to babysit. She was made to rock babies, as Shannon and Marquita, big nasty asses, made up there to have babies. And Annette continued to adopt them from the system. They made that baby sit up there and babysit. Naziah grew up changing diapers when she was a baby her damn self. Warming bottles when she was a baby her damn self. Running errands. Doing everything in the damn house that Shannon and Marquita, big lazy ass, wouldn't do, and Annette would not make them do it. Poor little Naziah carried the weight of the world on her shoulders. She had to do things in that house that grown-ups refused to do. And then she still had to carry the burden of aunts and grandmothers dressing her up like a grown-ass woman to go out there and entertain nasty-ass men to put money in Annette's hands. Don't blame me. I'm just the messenger. They're the ones that put the message out. Jarvis Butts confirmed it. Jarvis Butts said even though he did the most disgusting things with those children in the name of their going clean up his shop, Jarvis said he would pay them $25. And when he would give them the $25, who took the $25? So see them some trifling, low-life, greedy, disgusted heifers. $25 made them wet. Y'all sold those children, exploited those children, allowed these children to be violated for $25 damn. Y'all the most disgusting kind. And he told it. Eric Gamble gave Annette just a little bit more. Gambling money, drinking money, light bill money. So is that what it took Annette? For Eric Gamble to be with this minor child in a hotel room? Naziah didn't want to be there. She filmed the encounter for the world to see. That child was disgusted. That child was uncomfortable. That child was hurting and crying out. That TikTok video was not a normal damn video. But you old bitches sit up there and you allowed it. Y'all allowed it. And y'all thought that shit was natural and normal. Just stop. Just stop. My heart hurts for those children. For every child that has ever been in Annette's care. Every child that's ever encountered them people. My heart hurts. And we wonder why Naziah said she was ready to run away with Jarvis Butts. She was tired of Annette and Shannon. She was weary and worn at a young ass age because y'all did it to her. And then y'all want to bring y'all ragged asses out here and accuse her and blame her for things that she had no control over. Y'all did it to her. So should y'all be locked up? Hell yeah, all y'all. All y'all. And here we got the courts playing with the child's life with these little fucked up games they're playing. Because this shit ain't adding up. Ain't a damn thing lining up with what we done already saw. Because we can't have a situation this damn layered, this many people involved, and all of a sudden everything just gets real simple. This shit don't make sense. We should be getting more answers. Because if this was really about clarity, we should be getting more answers, not less. More things should be coming to the light and not just getting wrapped up like a goddamn leftover Christmas present and saying, go sit your ass in the corner. We want to know, what is it that y'all don't want spread? What is it that y'all don't want us to know? What is it that y'all don't want us to know? Because a case as big as this, as important as this, shit like this not supposed to shrink. A case big like this is supposed to grow like wildfire. Details coming out of the ass. Connections being made and more truth coming out. But Detroit, you're doing the fucking opposite. Y'all simplifying this shit and cleaning this bullshit up for presentation to make Kim Worthless look just as worthless as she already is. Bitch, you can't come out of what you done already created for your damn self. Y'all done clean this shit up so damn well. But y'all gonna have to sooner or later answer for what y'all wiped away and forgetting that this shit was all about Naziah. This shit is not lining up. And I'm tired of looking at the city of Detroit, the prosecutors. I'm tired of looking at them look at Naziah like she didn't fucking matter. Because how the hell you go from confusion to a plea deal? How does that shit happen? Y'all just sliding past shit. Y'all hoping we don't see shit. Y'all should be tired of cleaning up shit. But the fucked up part is, y'all don't really know who y'all dealing with because over here we catching it all. This is ridiculous. Because this ain't just about no damn plea deal. It's about everything that led up to this very moment. And it makes me, where the hell is the justice for Naziah? Because that's what this shit is supposed to be about, right? It's supposed to be about justice. It's supposed to be about accountability and truth. So why the hell does it feel like we moving away from that? Instead of opening this shit up, it's like we watching it get closed in. No accountability, no answers. The full story is just being shut the hell down. Because the last time I checked, this situation didn't just involve one person. We're looking at Annette, Marquita, Shannon, Eric Gamble, Frank, Pissy Bishop Bullwinkle, DPD, CPS, the school, Crown Raw Crown, whatever her damn name. All these people are involved in this shit. So my question is, where's the heat at for everybody that's connected to this bullshit? Where's the pressure at for the ones that knew something, that stayed quiet and let this shit slide? This shit didn't happen in no goddamn vacuum. There was a system in place. There was people around. There were people who were supposed to protect Naziah and failed the fuck out of her. And I'm supposed to sit here and clap for a ragged ass plea deal and act like that equals justice? Get the fuck away from me. Because that ain't no damn justice. Justice don't look like names not being called. Justice don't look like people not being pulled to the front of the fucking class. And it damn sure don't look like everything getting wrapped up before we even understand what the fuck done happened. No truth. No accountability. Because at the end of the day, at the center of all this shit is Naziah. And I'm not okay with this shit. She deserved better. Annette didn't offer better. She should have been protected. Annette and Shannon didn't offer her protection. Those were the two main culprits that fed her to these goddamn men. Naziah should have never been put in this position. I fought her fucking mama first. Because there ain't that much crack in the fucking world. Then I fought Shannon and Annette. Because instead of them lazy bitches going to get a job, they looked at Naziah as a meal ticket. That's how we got where we are. That's how we got where we are. And Kim Worthless, you ain't no fucking better. You ain't no better. Because how the hell do you keep feeding children to Annette, knowing what Annette is capable of doing? She's done it over and over again. So you part of the problem, your goddamn self. Because we ain't about to act like this situation here is just another damn case. No, we're not. Because if we're going to have to keep talking, we're going to keep talking. Because my thing is, if this plea deal means that we're going to keep getting less answers and there's going to be no accountability and no truth, then I got to ask, what the fuck are we really doing here? What are we really doing here? Ooh, child. Marty said this whole case been a farce from day one. It's been he say this, she say that. But nobody's saying the truth or the most important part. Where's Naziah? Y'all know. Hey, Shannon, Roxy, Annette, Marquita, bring your ass here and tell us where she at. Marty. Marty. It's a goddamn shame. It's a damn shame. Miss Gemini said he just gave the bigger players time to close things up. Pretty much. Pretty damn much. Miss Antoinette said Jarvis not that smart to play chess. He's doing what they're telling him to do. And he's getting his orders from your girl, Kim Worthless. That's a fucking shame. Lady V says if the plea deal is accepted, can he appeal later on the second degree since they dismissed the SA charges? Absolutely. He can definitely appeal. He definitely can. And it's going to trial. And I think he knows that. Drag Racing say all that talk Kim Worthless was doing at that press conference, she already knew the deal. Absolutely, Drag Racing. Drag Racing. She was able to talk that talk. Because she staged the whole play. Don't ever don't ever underestimate her. She staged the whole play. Think about it. She stuck her fucking chest out, came here and said those few words. I got my man. And we ain't heard shit since. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. This is crazy. Venetia said, I'm still scratching my head on how Shannon gets services for two kids that belong to Jarvis, but not her. I'm pretty sure he would have to have written legal permission from the biological moms. Venetia, let's talk about it. Since they want to talk about the crookedness. I don't believe in bullshit. I call a spade a spade. Might step on some toes, might make somebody uncomfortable, but I don't mind challenging a motherfucker being uncomfortable. The truth hurts. That's why I have no respect for the judicial system in Detroit. Let's talk about it. Jarvis Butts, a man with 20 plus children. He impregnates Naziah. Naziah just added to the roster, and she's just another notch in his belt. I'm being factual here. Y'all know I don't sugarcoat shit. The truth is the truth. Reality is what it is. Naziah ends up pregnant by Jarvis Butts. Not at our own will, but because that family allowed it. Naziah is not the only minor child that has ever been pregnant by Jarvis Butts. Let's get that out of the way. If y'all follow me, let me know you're following me. Jarvis has several children by minors. The one question that just keeps tugging at me, keep tugging at me, that these dummies out here running and believing is this. Oh yeah, he unalived Naziah because she was pregnant and he didn't want that to come out. Let's stop the bullshit. I'm back, guys. Can you hear me? I hope you can. Cha, cha, cha. Whew. I guess it got kind of hot up in here. The devil is a liar. We ain't doing all of that. Okay, sound good, good, good. I'm so glad y'all can hear me. Phew. But oh no. The problem is, it ain't. Shannon, you can't make me believe you telling these people. Thank you guys for being patient and allowing me to come back and finish this stream out. But sitting up here and trying to make the world believe that Jarvis Butts did what he did to Naziah because she was pregnant, that's bullshit. I'm not buying it. I refuse. I refuse. Because this child is no longer here, and y'all sitting up here and y'all pushing all type of narratives. She's this and she was that. Tuda was fast. Nah, bitch, you should have thought about she was fast when you trained her to be fast. What she knows about being fast. Children are products of their environment. They really are. So with this plea deal, well, I done lost all my comments. With this plea deal, you know, let's talk about what could possibly happen next. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to a decision. Either that plea deal gets accepted or it don't. And both of those paths come with consequences. If that plea deal is accepted by the judge, does that mean the case is resolved, or does it mean certain parts of it never gets fully explored? Because once it's accepted, y'all, that's it. There's no going back and no reopening what did not get said. But if we flip the script and says, and we ask the question, what if it gets denied? What happens then? More pressure comes out. More questions then get asked in open court. And it's in that moment that more people possibly gets pulled in. So I'm praying that the judge has a little integrity and a heart. Because denial don't just stop things. Sometimes it opens things all the way up. But who benefits? Somebody always benefits, y'all. Because if it's accepted, who does it protect? If it's denied, somebody's going to have pressure on them. Somebody's going to get exposed. A lot of people's going to get exposed. And from history, one thing I know is cases like this, they don't always end in transparency. Sometimes things get resolved without everything ever being brought to the light. And that's what we got to be mindful of. Because at the end of all this, the real question ain't just what happens next. We have to ask, will justice actually that? Easier. And if the judge signs off on this, that's it. That means we're stuck with the story that we were sold. And everything else is just gone. And that's the part the prosecutors don't want us to talk about. That's what they don't want us to know. All the extra questions gone. All the digger deep and gone is cut off. All the shit that ain't making into the deal, we may never hear it. They don't want to say that shit because it sounds too good to say. Case is closed. But they don't want to tell you what they left open. So yeah, it might look like a resolve or a resolution, but it could actually be a clean exit for some people. It really can. An exit without accountability, without everything being said, and still no justice for Naziah. But if that judge say, okay, fuck it, I'm going to deny this shit, then shit is going to get real. Because now we ain't got no shortcuts. Can't nobody control the narrative at this point. Now you got to talk. You got to explain. You got to sit your ass in a courtroom and tell what happened. Huh. This is sad. Sad to know that grown ass people, a grandma, a so-say grandma, let this child go out like this. That thumbnail said, protect us and take the plea. Us. Prosecution hand is dirty. And Jarvis has to protect that. But why? Why? Because we know that plea deals don't just fall out the sky. They get worked out, negotiated, pushed, all that shit. So what kind of pressure might be happening behind closed doors? We don't know. Who's talking to who? We don't know. Who making calls? We don't know. Who trying to make sure this goes a certain way? We don't know, but the prosecution's hand is all over it. Shit like this don't just come together. Is Jarvis Butts being used as the fall guy, y'all? Is he being used as the fall guy? Is he being positioned? That maybe I should have worded that different. Is Jarvis being positioned, y'all, to take this hit so other people ain't got to answer the shit? That's the real question. Because let's be real. If one person take that deal, that means everybody else is safe. So that's like, in the beginning of this shit, we called Naziah the sacrificial lamb. In this goddamn courtroom right now, Jarvis is. Because that's how this shit could truly play out. One person step up, admit to all the wrong shit, take the weight, and boom, everything else gets real quiet. Multiple people, multiple failures, multiple layers to this shit. But yet they want us to expect one outcome. That don't make sense. Because it looks like this shit is being redirected. Like the spotlight, the goalpost done been moved. Hey, terrific. Welcome, boo. All right, sis, Sheena. I'm not here for much longer, baby. I'm about to get out too. And they want him to take this plea. Because somebody's surely benefiting from Jarvis's silence. Because it's at the point now, it ain't even about a goddamn plea deal. It ain't even about a plea deal anymore, y'all. It's about why this plea deal even exists. Why it's even on a table like this. Because if everything is so simple, so clear, and if this is just the process, then why? Does it look like he's being told to shut the fuck up? Why does it feel like the goalpost is moving and it just don't look right? It don't look right. The story is going to stop. And there's nobody else to bring to the spotlight. They're protecting decisions. They're protecting people. Plea deal could close the case and it could also close the door. And all we want to know is what the fuck is behind the door that they don't want open. Who needed it to stop? Who? Who? If y'all think something big is being kept behind those doors, drop some doors in the chat. Because I do believe something bigger is behind those doors. Because they don't want us to know what really happened. They don't want us to know who's all involved. I believe that. They don't want us to know. Baby, hey, baby, welcome. Let me know how you're feeling in the chat as we end tonight. If you feel like this is about silence, control, are we still missing major pieces? And we know we missing major pieces. Let me know. Show me. If you questioning this whole thing, type it. Light this fucking chat up before we walk out this door, because Naziah deserves so much better. I see the doors, baby. I see them, and I appreciate y'all. We done talked this thing all the way through tonight, and one thing's for sure is this ain't over. Not by a long shot. So whatever comes next, we're going to be right here watching. We're going to be questioning, and we ain't letting the damn thing slide, because over here we stand on truth and we stand on accountability. And if we have questions that needs to be asked, we're going to ask them. We're going to ask them. And we're going to take this the way that they're giving it to us. There's no other way to take this other than the way they're giving it to us. And if you're rocking with that, and if you want to go deep, and if you want to be a part of what we're building over here, all my new people in here tonight, go ahead on and hit that join button. Become a Nola, Bell, or Bo today. Because over here, we a family, baby. This ain't just a channel. This is a community. We speak on it, we question it, and we hold every fucking body accountable that needs to be held accountable. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes open and don't get too comfortable in these streets. Just know that over here, we don't let nothing slide. We call them to the front of the class. This is what we do. So I'm going to say I appreciate each and every one of y'all for pulling up tonight, rocking and rolling with Mocha. Sorry for the brief intermission. That wasn't on me. That was definitely on StreamYard. But I love you all. And I want us to do what we've always done. Hold the people accountable that needs to be held accountable. Jarvis Butts is a major fish in this situation. But it is my belief that the pot of grease that Jarvis is sitting in, Shannon and Annette needs to be sitting in a bigger pot. They do. So as we get on up out of here, we want to flood the chat tonight with hearts, justice scales for Naziah. Baby, we're coming. And we're not going to stop speaking on your name until the justice that you deserve is brought to the forefront. And Naziah, no matter where you are, baby, we see you, we hear you, we feel you. And I'm going to always say in my heart, Naziah is still here. Detroit have not proven that she's not. And I even if I have to stand alone, no matter what they're saying, if I have to stand alone saying she's still here, I will. Because Detroit haven't proven anything. Detroit haven't shown us anything. And until they show us, I'm going to believe what I believe. And on that note, guys, I'm going to say good night. I'm going to say God bless you all. I'm going to say I love you all. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. And we'll be back here tomorrow doing the same thing. So set your notification and meet me back on the porch. Good night.
She ain't gone. No, she just hiding behind the lies. They keep on writing. I feel her voice. I hear her crying. But they too busy testifying. Saying nothing while she dying inside. She ain't gone. She just fighting to survive. She said she needed help in class that day. Laid out on the floor, tears in the way. Told the teacher she need a word, not a test. But they passed her off like the pain was just stress. Mama acting like she ain't see a thing, but checking her tablet, deleting the strings. The truth in a locker, the truth in a phone. They try to act like she ran off alone.
Portrayal lies, got them swearing to God, but the ones in the pews know the story too odd. Why you wanna stand talking? I don't recall. You was posting like everything's fine, that's all. She had bruises and bags, she had silence and shade. They let that man stay while she tried to escape. A house full of whispers, a shop full of ghosts, but we saw them cameras and we the most.
She ain't gone. No, she just hiding behind the lies. They keep on writing. I feel her voice. I hear her crying. But they too busy testifying. Saying nothing while she dying inside. She ain't gone. She just fighting to survive. I believe she's somewhere breathing slow. Not a grave, just a place we don't yet know. Maybe protective, maybe hid away, but not erased, not gone astray. The court got a date, but the streets got a voice. And we gon' speak loud like we ain't got a choice. This ain't just views, it's a whole damn name. Say Naziah loud till they feel that flame.
Good night, everyone. God bless.